and welcome to the final episode of Election 360 with me, Shobhana K. Nair. In the last episode, I spoke about the issues that have been dominating the 2024 election season. In this episode, I'm going to talk about people and parties. Beginning from South India, this is a crucial election for AIADMK, especially since it comes soon after their divorce with the BJP. Several people have been writing political obituaries, but AIADMK cadres and leadership have proven them wrong. All eyes are also on Chandrababu Naidu in Andhra Pradesh on how he will fare. Will he be able to claw back to power, especially a few months after his incarceration and various corruption charges against him? In Maharashtra, the battle is centered around the question of who is the real Shiv Sena? Is it Uddhav Thackeray's faction or is it Eknath Shinde's faction? Of course, the voters will deliver the verdict. Moving to Hindi heartland, there are several interesting things happening here. For one, we have Janata Dal United in Bihar, which seems to be flailing at this moment. Reports suggest that its core vote bank of Koiris and Kushwahas are drifting away from the party. They were at one point of time also referred to as Nitish Kumar's love and Kush. Nitish Kumar himself has not been keeping well. There is no clear heir apparent. And in these circumstances, obviously the question is the party headed towards a disintegration? Meanwhile, RJD and Samajwadi Party, two political outfits from the Hindi heartland whose core vote bank has always been Yadavs and Muslims, have played a very interesting gambit in this election. In Uttar Pradesh, Samajwadi Party has only fielded 5 Yadav candidates. Incidentally, all these candidates are from the first family of Akhilesh Yadav. They are either cousins, his own wife, he himself is contesting. But this is in clear contrast from 2019 when SP fought fewer number of seats and yet it had 10 Yadav candidates. Similarly, in Bihar, RJD has traveled the extra mile to accommodate non-Yadav OBC candidates from various constituencies. The whole idea is to add more votes to their existing vote bank. If we were to move further up in the north, Jammu and Kashmir has seen unprecedented turnout. The question, however, is can Mehbooba Mufti and the Abdullahs return to the center stage of J&K politics? But today, final episode of Election 360 is on Punjab and specifically on Amritsar. One very important question in this election is how exactly will Akali Dal fare? They have been the oldest partners for BJP. After their divorce, this is the first general election the two sides are facing. Many people claim that Akali is staring at political oblivion. Is that the case, or can Akalis rescue themselves? To answer these questions, we are taking you to Amritsar, where a very interesting four-cornered battle is unfolding between Aam Aadmi Party, Congress, Akali Dal and BJP. I will be joined by my colleague and friend Sandeep Fukan, who will explain more about this seat. Welcome, Sandeep. Thank you for joining again. So we know Amritsar mostly for its Amritsari naan and chole and all the culinary delights that the place brings to us. But politically speaking, what is the demographic and geographical makeup of this constituency?
Well, I would say this is an extremely important seat because, first of all, it has one of the holiest shrines of the Sikh community, the Harmandir Sahib, or the Golden Temple, as we call it. It's also on the, it shares the border with Pakistan. So just beyond Amritsar, you have the Wagah border, and from there, it's just 30 odd kilometers, and you're in Lahore. So it's very, very important. It's also very important in terms of, that was, of course, now there is no trade, but earlier Atari used to be the main border point trade between India and Pakistan, especially agriculture commodities like spices and onions. So, of course, all that has changed post Pulwama, and there's been no trade. But I'm saying that that is also an important factor. It plays an important factor in the politics of the state as well as in politics of the seat. Roughly, if you look at the Lok Sabha constituency of Amritsar, it has 9 assembly seats. 5 of them are in urban areas, 4 of them are in rural areas, and over the years one has seen that both these areas vote separately. In terms of community that is dominant, this is a seat that has about 60% Jat Sikhs who make up the population here. So 60% of the population are Jat Sikhs. And if you look at the history of the seat, it's very interesting. Of the 20 elections that have taken place, 13 of them have been won by the Congress party, and 6 of them was won by Raghunandan Lal Bhatia. He's a Hindu leader who was eventually defeated. His winning streak was ended by none other than cricketer turned politician Navjot Singh Sidhu. This was in 2004, and I remember covering that election.
Yeah.
And eventually, of course, Mr. Bhatia had become governor of Kerala during the UPA time. So it's a very important seat, both politically, geographically, as I said, and also culturally for for Punjab.
Yeah. So now the reason why we have picked up Amritsar and say not any other constituency is also because this is the only constituency which has a 4-cornered contest. We have Congress has repeated its sitting MP Gurjeet Singh Aujla. All of us might have seen Aujla grabbing the intruders during the recent
December 13th
security breach in Lok Sabha. And Aam Aadmi Party has fielded Kuldeep Singh Dhaliwal, sitting cabinet minister, state minister. But very curiously,
BJP has Taranjit Singh Sandhu.
I'm sorry, BJP has former US ambassador Taranjit Singh Sandhu. But my curiosity is more towards the Akali candidate, who is the only Hindu candidate in fray, former Minister Anil Joshi. So could you tell us why have the Akalis, and what is the calculation behind picking Anil Joshi?
And if you look at the history of this seat, Shobna, as I said, that of the 13 times that the Congress has won this seat, R.L. Bhatia won 6 times. And he was a Hindu, he was a non-Sikh leader. So it's not as if Hindus can't win this seat, number one. Number two, yes, I mean, Jat Sikhs may make up 60% of the population, but the seat, Hindu has represented the seat, has represented Amritsar for a very long time and several times. So that's one. So there's a history. Second, I mean, another calculation could be that if every other party is fielding heavyweights from the Sikh community, and the votes of the Sikh community gets divided between these candidates, then the Akali's calculation could be that by fielding a Hindu candidate, Mr. Joshi, who was formerly in the BJP, what may happen is that he may get votes from the Hindu community, and Akalis, of course, will have a dedicated, committed voter among the Sikh communities. So if 2 of them come together, then it may just be the winning combination. That may have been their calculation. But as I said, that this seat, I mean, we've seen of late, since 2004, I think we've been seeing whether it's Sidhu, whether it's Amritsar Singh, generally a Sikh who has represented the Amritsar seat, Lok Sabha seat. But in the past, we've seen Hindu candidates representing the seat.
So, Mr. Anil Joshi has a very interesting past. He was with the BJP till 6 years back. It's only in 2021 that he was kicked out of the party, and he's been a former union cabinet minister. But from whatever I recall, I believe Anil Joshi has always been at loggerheads with Vikram Majithia.
Yeah.
So how is that rivalry playing out in this election?
Yeah, so that's an interesting question because yes, I mean, from whatever we know, that Mr. Joshi had been always at the forefront of criticizing the Akalis, even when BJP Akali Dal were allies, and Shiromani Akali Dal and BJP were allies, and they were even in the state government when they were running the state government.
Together.
Even then, he was a critic of the Akalis, and in particular Mr. Majithia. But now, with Mr. Joshi being pushed out of the BJP, he of course has joined the Akalis. And Akalis have performed really badly with the emergence of Aam Aadmi Party, the breakup with the BJP. In fact, there was a lot of talk that this time round, with the protests over the farm bills, etc., being over, this time round maybe Akalis and BJP will come together, but that did not happen. So what it means is that Akalis, are fighting a lonely battle. Their recent history has been quite disappointing in terms of electoral success. So, which is why they would try out everything. And one interesting fact is that Mr. Majithia is among the star campaigners for Mr. Joshi in this seat. So that fact has also come out that at one point, but this happens in
how
politics.
The political clock turns.
Yeah, it happens in politics that you may be bitter rivals at one point, and then you could be campaigning together at
the very
point.
next minute.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why this seat has generated so much interest is we have a former US ambassador, Taranjit Singh Sandhu, contesting from here. But BJP hasn't always lucked out in this constituency. In fact, they have had more defeats than victories here. Could you take us through the checkered history of BJP in Amritsar?
Yeah, sure. I mean, so this is my personal recollection, of course, of this seat is when I actually covered Navjot Singh Sidhu, who was then very much in the BJP. He was contesting for the first time from Amritsar in 2004. So I remember that how I had called up, I was then working for a television channel, and then I lined him up and he asked me to come at a certain point, and then I went there, and then by the time I reached that point he had moved on to some other place, and then that way I actually ended up traveling all of Amritsar and it's a huge area, the entire constituency, and eventually I started out around 8 o'clock, I think, in the morning. And I managed to get Mr. Sidhu's interview in the last hour of voting, maybe 5 o'clock. So that's my personal recollection. But yes, I mean, BJP has had a very checkered history. As I said, that of the 20 elections that have taken place in the seat, 13 were won by the Congress. BJP has won, of course, 4 times, 2004, 2007, a bypoll by Sidhu again, 2009, and Bharatiya Jan Sangh had won once in 67. So these are the 4 instances when the BJP had done well. BJP or the Jan Sangh had done well, but otherwise, this has been a Congress stronghold. And what is interesting is that even when there was a Modi wave in 2014, even then it lost the seat. Former Finance Minister late Arun Jaitley was fielded from here, and at that time, Congress had sprung a surprise by fielding former Chief Minister Captain Amritsar Singh, who is of course now in the BJP. At that point, he contested and he defeated Mr. Jaitley by a substantial margin. I don't recall the vote.
About 1 lakh, I believe. Roughly 1 lakh.
By a substantial margin.
Yeah.
And remember, this was when there was a Modi wave across the country in 2014. So, they had done
and they
well.
repeated the same thing in 2019, despite the distance between Pulwama and Amritsar is not that great.
Absolutely. And this was not even Captain Amritsar Singh. In 2019 it was Aujla, and he defeated Hardeep Puri of the BJP, again a bureaucrat turned politician. by again close
Roughly
to a lakh
same
and
margin.
99,000
Roughly same
odd
margin.
votes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, BJP hasn't had much success.
Yeah.
They would of course surely hope that trend is changed.
But
this
is
election.
it changing?
It's difficult to predict,
No, but
Shobna.
what are the factors? How's the farmers' agitation playing out against them?
So these are factors that will play a role. Uh, so the farmers' agitation, the anger. So actually we are behind that, and so it's like, we've put behind the farmers' agitation, at least in terms of the news cycle, and there's no anger. But yeah, I mean, in rural areas, that will certainly be a factor. In urban areas, one doesn't know. Of course, Taranjit Sandhu is a stalwart in terms of, he's a big name in terms of former ambassador, Indian ambassador to the United States, somebody who knows diplomacy very well, somebody who will hold a crucial, who could play a crucial role, even in terms of, as I said earlier, that even cross-border trade with Pakistan is an important issue or part of politics here. It may not be anywhere else in the country, but the farmers, the traders, they do play a role.
Yeah, because recently, I believe in Congress press conferences, they have been raising this issue that post-Pulwama, the cross-border trade has come to a halt, and therefore roughly 4,000 crores is the loss for the Amritsar traders.
I mean, I'm not aware of the questions being raised in press conferences, but as I said, that farmers, traders in this area, they would have an opinion which is different from the rest of the country. So under these circumstances, having a diplomat as your MP could be a beneficial thing as well. But as I said, that BJP has had a checkered history. We don't know how this election is going to play out, but obviously the BJP would hope that it can repeat what it had done in 2004 or 2007 or 2009. So Mr. Sandhu is of course no Mr. Sidhu, but they will surely try. I mean, they'll surely hope that some of that luck rubs on to him and they manage to win this seat.
I'll want you to take 1 minute to tell us about how uniquely placed is Punjab in terms of the larger India Bloc alliance. Here also we see the fight between Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, and there are several seats across the state where this is happening.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting question. So I'll just answer this question through another seat, which is Chandigarh. Chandigarh shares a border with Anandpur Sahib, Manish Tiwari's earlier seat. And in Anandpur Sahib, Congress and Aam Aadmi Party have fielded different candidates. They are at loggerheads. There is a bitter war of words going on. The leader of opposition in Punjab, Pratap Singh Bajwa, every day, in fact, I would say every 2 hours, he issues a press statement against the government of the day, which is Bhagwant Singh Man's government. And, no holds barred attack on the Aam Aadmi Party government. Whereas in Chandigarh, as the union territory, that seat, Manish Tiwari is actually the joint candidate of Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress Party.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fielded by the Congress, but it's also supported by the Aam Aadmi Party. This similarly, I mean, just a few kilometers away in Punjab, in Anandpur Sahib, as I said, and that's the case in Punjab across the state, that, as they say, Dosti in Delhi, Kushti in Punjab. So,
you want to translate that for
so Dosti is friendship in Delhi and Kushti in Punjab is wrestling in Punjab. So Aam Aadmi Party and Congress are wrestling with each other in Punjab. And mind you, if the other pair, as it were, was Akali and BJP, and even they are wrestling there, because Akali Dal had been one of the oldest allies of the BJP, and the protest over the farm laws sort of made them,
part ways.
Divorce, made them part ways. They divorced their relationship. As I said earlier, that there was much talk that they could come back, but eventually that didn't happen. and now they are fighting separately. So again, that's an alliance that I mean, that's also a relationship that has gone sour, and they are also fighting separately. So it's overall, I would say, it's a four-cornered contest.
So Punjab is an interesting case of alignments and realignments, and
Absolutely.
we shall know. Thank you, Sandeep, so much for joining. And it's a wrap. This was the last episode of Elections 360. I have really enjoyed this journey, and I hope you did too. But do stay tuned to the Hindus YouTube channel for more such videos and many more such series.